My name is Michael Ekow Amoah. I'm Deputy Director in charge of research and development with Ghana Cocoa. I am an environmental economist by profession, and I've worked with Cocobod in the cocoa industry for over 20 years, and the forestry sector for over 3 years. My background, as I said, is an environmental economist. I'm part of the team that put in the system in place to be able to meet the EUDR requirements. The key elements within EUDR is to be able to produce the geolocations and to be able to give evidence of what is in the geolocation in terms of deforestation free. So the first thing we did is to put in the Ghana Cocoa Traceability System, which is a national traceability system, which in itself is anchored on something we call a data platform, which we call Cocoa Management System. Cocoa Management System, we did it before EUDR came into place. We started Cocoa Management System in 2019 to collect data on our cocoa farmers. We wanted to have visibility in the cocoa sector. So when EUDR was published in 2020, we saw we have a database and infrastructure we could build on. So we built on that one to build a traceability system, which we call Ghana Cocoa Traceability System, to be able to produce the geolocations at the point of shipment. Then the next layer is what is in the geolocation in terms of sustainability. That is deforestation free, to be able to give evidence that it is deforestation free. To be able to do that, we have done the cocoa-related deforestation risk assessment model. We did it together with European Forest Institute, the FAO, and the Resource Management Support Center, that is the Forestry Commission, technical arm of the Forestry Commission, because they are in charge of the forest cover. So we did it with them. Then in terms of legality, we have done legality scoping with stakeholders, including the private sector, all stakeholders in the cocoa sector. And we've come up with the key legal issues which are present within Ghana, which need to be met, or we need to provide evidence as having met the legality side of the EUDR. So far, that's what we've done, to be able to be EUDR compliant. The biggest challenge is finance. It involved huge initial financial outlay. So in fact, that was why Cocobod decided to do it, but the farmers don't have that resources to do it. And even as we have to wait until we got a facility from AFDB. We conceived the idea of Cocoa Management System in 2016. We didn't have money until 2019 when we got some facility from AFDB to be able to start it. And that formed the basis for doing the national system to meet the EUDR requirement. So money is key. We did survey, we used GPS to survey all cocoa farms. That took us 2 years to do that. You have to hire surveyors, you have to buy accurate GPS with the accuracy of 3 meters. You have to get enumerated to also go and enumerate the farmers as well, because you are not only looking at their farms, you're also looking at their profile to be able to do the legality analysis. So the key challenge for me is finance. Mm-hmm. So cocoa does well under agroforestry system. Mm-hmm. It thrives under forestry system. So for us, it's consistent with what we do. The only thing is to be able to put in system to provide evidence. Yeah. So if you don't have the systems, your farmers will be excluded from the EU market, not because they are causing deforestation, but because you don't have system to produce evidence. Right. So for us, it aligns. It aligns. Our cocoa manual recommend that the farmers leave 18 trees on their farms, even on farm, which is not the essence of EUDR. EUDR is converting forests into agricultural use. We don't convert forests into agriculture. These are lands which have been demarcated for agriculture already. Mm-hmm. We are using that to produce cocoa to meet the world market. Yes. Interestingly, in Ghana, cocoa is heavily regulated by law. It's regulated by the law we call PNDC Law 81. And in PNDC Law 81 give the sole mandate of buying and selling cocoa to Ghana Cocoa. So the farmer produces how that cocoa will be sold is the burden of Cocobod. We've taken that burden from the farmer. So it is Cocobod that put in all the system to make sure that that cocoa that will be produced by the farmer, when it's bought from the farmer, can be sold. If it can be sold, and we sell about 60% of our produce to EU, then you need to put in system to meet the market. Other than that, the cocoa, you can't sell them. So that burden, we have taken it from the farmers. We have Ghana Cocoa Board, which is the regulator, has taken that burden from the farmers and put in the system to meet the EUDR requirement.
Yes.
The structure gave us that advantage to be able to do that on behalf of the farmers. Other than the farmers, they are smallholder farmers, about 90% smallholder farmers with land size of less than 3 hectares. They can't raise that resources to put in the system in place. And we already had private sector which have done some traceability system, but it covers only 20%. So the 80% would have been excluded from the market if Cocobod had not come in. Not because they are causing deforestation or illegality, but because they don't have system to provide evidence. And so we step in, and this is peculiar to Cocobod because of the structure we have in the cocoa sector. But there's one crucial thing that that ought to have been done to be able for it to be successful. That was for the farmers to also understand what the EUDR is. Because you put in system and the farmers don't understand why you are putting that system, it will not work. But they are the agent of change. They are the key people who are producing the cocoa. If they don't understand it and cooperate with you, in spite of the system you put in place, it will not work. You will not be able to get the data that you want to meet the EUDR requirement. So the other thing that we did was to be able to sensitize the farmers to understand why we are doing that and the reason behind it, and how they can support us to be able to churn out good, accurate data for EUDR. For us, it has brought visibility. You know, we had a unique case because we had started looking at digitalizing the cocoa value chain to bring visibility in cocoa value chain and to deepen financial inclusion and to promote investment in the cocoa sector. You know, so we leverage on that one to develop the system for EUDR. Other than that, the EUDR would have rather brought visibility in the cocoa sector. Our case is unique because we started before EUDR came on board. But if EUDR had come on board before we started, then EUDR would have caused us to push in this digital system and to bring innovations and efficiency in the sector. But we have started it already before EUDR came. So it will bring some innovations and creativity in the sector, in the sense that once you have these database, you'll be able to do targeted intervention. You can leverage on it to do so many things to support the cocoa farmer. It can bring financial inclusion because it can bring agri-insurance. It can be a good infrastructure platform for agri-insurance. So can bring a lot of innovation in the cocoa sector, which will go to the benefit of the cocoa farmer. You can leverage on it to even do carbon sequestration calculations, which you can use to assess the carbon market and bring some additional income to the cocoa farmer. So a lot more additional benefit that can come out of it, which will take advantage of the system that have been put in place to be able to meet the requirements. First of all, the EUDR came into being without a lot of consultation. So we need to have deeper consultation. We need to have deeper understanding and put in the socio-cultural context to it. But the bottom line is that we want to arrest deforestation to be able to curb global warming by going by the Paris Agreement, by trying to limit temperature rises to 1.5 degrees Celsius per annum. So that is the ultimate goal. But we need to understand the socio-cultural context to be able to come out with a set of regulations and requirements that will enable us to meet it without causing any harm to our farmers. That one we think EU need, or UN or any organization need to come in to ensure that we deepen that engagement to enhance the EUDR requirement. Also, finance. One thing putting in the systems to meet the requirement, but operationalizing the system requires some recurrent costs, which need to be funded. So how do we fund that? How do we update the data that we put, the forest cover maps, the farm mappings that we've done? How do we update it annually? It requires money. So how do we get support to do that? The whole thing is change management. How do we have money to sensitize farmers, to sensitize stakeholders, to be able to make the system operate, be operated, and provide the necessary relevant document evidence that is required under EUDR? It all requires money, which may have to come from either the EU or development partners or the UN.